Generation Z is very different from millennials. Millennials very different from Xers and baby boomers, and they have to coexist. But there's another factor at play. The pandemic has shown us that it's possible to work across borders very efficiently, that you don't physically have to be there for a meeting. You don't have to fly 24 hours to go to your client site, right? So we have to add in, along with the uncertainty between, different generations operating differently, we also have the uncertainties of different cultures and people from different cultures working together, right? So first, I think the first implication is for the organization at large. They need to be agile. They need to be flexible, right? So even before you get to diversity and inclusion, it's agility and flexibility that is very, very key and different from before. So now I think in terms of agility and flexibility, how do you create that? It basically means being able to take calculated risks and at a rapid pace, because change is very rapid now, right? In order to take that risk, you have to have great amount of a very strong teamwork, right? So your organizational in-network ties have to be very, very strong. How do you create that? You need more trust in order to be able to take those big risks. But how do you create trust? And this is where I think diversity and inclusion matter, because that can stop you from building this kind of trust. The lack of having a fair and equitable workplace can throw a spanner in the works of creating such an organization. You asked about diversity and inclusion. It's not a line item anymore. It's not that, okay, along with all these things, here's also diversity and inclusion. Kind of like how sustainability used to be. Or even before that, there was digital strategy. Everything was about, we've got to have a digital strategy. Then everything became, we've got to have sustainability. It's not that we have mastered digital or we have mastered sustainability, right? But now you don't even say it. It's kind of expected that in your operations, you will have digital, you will have sustainability. So I think diversity and inclusion is also going to be like that, where it's got to be a part of your business model.
When I speak about aging, I always emphasize the multi-generational aspect of aging. Aging is not limited to one generation. It's a problem or an opportunity for the whole society. And this is exactly mirrored in the workplace. When we say multi-generational workplace, we mean not only that we have Gen X, the bosses of of baby boomers, or even Gen Y, the bosses of baby boomers. It's the role, the familial role of each generation, because we have aging adults on one hand, that they have their own perspective and their own approach to what is work for them. For example, we see more that people in the age of 60, they want to go to the office. For them, working from home probably is something that is really, really not so realistic. But at the same time, I think that the workforce has many family caregivers. So HR and other executives have to adjust their best practices, not only to deal with aging adults, but also to make sure that family caregivers in the ages of 40 and 50, and in the States there are almost 50 million. How do we make sure that they lose not so many working days? How can we help them with referral services? How can we make them improve their own well-being? So I think that aging in the workforce is a multi-generational issue, and this is how it should be perceived and addressed by HR or all other executives.